Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Disney with the Ducks, coming to you from Duck Studios around the country. I'm your host for the night, John Kroll, and I've got Lonnie G with me.
Hello, everybody.
Jeff.
Hey, guys.
Gene.
How's your mom and him?
And Jodie.
Hi, everybody.
All right. I hope everybody is having or had a good weekend, because we're almost at the end here on Sunday night.
Did you have a good weekend, John? You're like 49 now, 50?
I did. Right? I have now survived to year 41. So yeah, today is a great day for the world in that I was born. So yeah, it's a very great day to celebrate.
We're all better off for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're one step closer to knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I'm already getting pretty close to the top anyway. I don't need any more steps closer. But yeah, no, I had a good weekend. We had fun. Got to see some friends, got to do some family stuff. It was very enjoyable.
I saw that picture online with you in a nice shirt.
You're a terrible, terrible person. Your Photoshop. No, okay. So for the listeners out there, if you haven't seen it, go to our group, Disney with the Ducks on Facebook, and join some of this fun. Jeff posted a wonderful picture of me in the ugliest shirt that I have never worn. And he put a Buckeye logo over my beautiful running shirt that I was wearing, which is very upsetting because I have an actual real photo of Jeff wearing a Michigan shirt in person that is going to be shared quite a bit this week, because this is one of the best weeks of the year. We're in Thanksgiving week, as this will come out on Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. And then after that, Michigan's playing some little team from Columbus area in Ohio on Saturday. And I will get to be, I think, hopefully in person with Jeff, watching him cry man tears throughout that game. So I am very excited for this upcoming week. But although there's a lot going on, and of course, Michigan is going to beat Jodie's Buckeyes. Yes. Jodie's just giving me the evil eye.
With my Buckeye hat, my Buckeye earrings, my Buckeye cup. I'm just silent.
You're ready to go.
Killing you with my silence, John.
I like how when I asked you if you wanted to come over for the game, you're like, no, Tim can't be around people during that game. That's very funny.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Yeah,
I love it.
My house is not a safe zone either during this game, so we'll see how this goes. But
I would love. Is there any way you could stream us in? I just want to see that. I just want to be a part of it.
Jeff can go live.
Right.
I might even have two Gene head and a Lonnie head I can bring with me. I think we still have this around somewhere.
You still have the Lonnie and
Hold
Gene
them on sticks.
Yeah.
Do we have a Jodie head?
So.
No,
we do
Do we have a Kevin head?
Oh, it could be. It could be.
Kevin and Jodie were live, so.
Bummer. All right. So we've got Thanksgiving week coming up. So hopefully a lot of family time, a lot of fun events. But one thing too, with the holidays and everybody having a couple days off work, what are you guys watching on TV right now? Or streaming, or what shows really catch your attention these days? Jodie, I think you have something, right? That's starting.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm all World Cup. I will not be watching any real TV. I don't want to know about anything streaming. I could care less. It's football, the real football, the world football going on 24/7 on our TV. That's all. Teams that I don't know about. I don't, whatever country playing whatever country, it will be on all day. I mean, I blocked my calendar tomorrow for work. I will not be taking any conference calls. No one should bother me 2 to 4:30. Yeah. No, not
That's
happening.
cool.
We play on Tuesday, Friday, and then next week. So, Monday, Friday, and Tuesday are our three first games. So those are the first rounds. No, that will be super intense around here.
Nice.
I mean, my son's name is Landon. If you don't know, there was a famous player on the U.S. men's national team named Landon Donovan. Like, it's a big deal in our house.
He scored quite the goal in the last World Cup that the U.S. was in, right?
No, he was not in the last World Cup. Our coach at that time made him stay home. He did not go to Brazil.
Wait, when was this then? Oh, never mind.
The U.S. men did not make the last World Cup, and the World Cup before.
No, I know. Oh, okay. That's what I was referring. Anyway,
you're thinking Del Cicero. That was probably the U.S. Mexico game, which is the big competition. But anyway,
maybe. Yeah, I was listening to it.
You will be watching soccer 24/7. So all
awesome.
my other shows will be on pause. I don't care if the best thing gets released on whatever. It's not happening until the World Cup's over.
It's not the best thing to you, is it?
It is not the best
Fair
thing.
enough.
Ole, 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 ole.
Ole,
Yes.
ole,
Ole. Okay. I like that we broke into songs spontaneously.
Yes, that was great.
We do that all the time. I mean, I live a musical, you know?
Yeah, we do too. Yeah. We watched that Spirited, that new Christmas movie on Apple TV last night, and it's a musical, so it's funny because they'll just randomly break out into song, and I wish real life was like that, to be honest. All right, Gene, what are you watching right now?
Well, so similar to what you just said, we just watched Disenchanted, and we joked about the fact that my wife was walking through the back. Y'all couldn't hear her a while ago. We were earlier, and she was singing, but it's just what we do. But that's not what I want to recommend. It was good. But I watched The English, which has Emily Blunt, and it's really, really good. It's set in the Old West. She's an English person, and she she partners with a Native American man, and it's just a sort of an epic, 6-part story.
Oh, it's a show on?
Yeah. I'm sorry, ma'am.
What streaming service?
Amazon. Really, really good. I mean, I didn't binge it all like in one sitting, but I watched it. That's all I watched for about 2 days. I got up in the morning, and before bringing my daughter to school, I was watching, caught 20 minutes of an episode just to, just is that good. That, and then I had something else and I forgot. I don't know, but Disenchanted was good too. Both really good. I didn't write it down.
We tried to watch Disenchanted, and we got about halfway through it, and our little girls, even though they love it, they just started freaking out, and nobody could. Yeah. They were melting down. I think it was just too late, but I want to watch the rest of it. I think we have like an hour left.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Jeff, what are you watching on the old TV right now?
I started watching The Midnight Club on Netflix. It's a new series. It's kind of along the lines of Bly Manor and Midnight Mass, and kind of like paranormal style a little bit. I'm only about an episode and a half into it, but it's caught my attention. So that's going to be what I'd be streaming here in the next few weeks.
Okay. Cool. Lonnie, how about you? What are you watching these days?
Yeah, so for me, I'm about to start watching Andor. Gene knows I like to wait for a while for a series to get a couple episodes in, so I don't have to wait for the next week. So now that they have a couple in the hopper, I'm just going to start binging it. Especially on my long run, I can get the whole series and get caught up.
Nice. Yeah, we're like halfway through it.
Dang mute. It's all fine and good for you, Lonnie, but how am I supposed to talk to you about Andor whenever you're, 17, you're actually 11 episodes behind at this point?
Okay,
I can't deal with this.
Okay, I mean, we know how it ends. But, now, spoiler alert, we know how it ends. So I don't want to get too invested in the character. But, yeah, it's you're right, G. We'll be able to talk about it relatively shortly.
I've moved on to the next Marvel series by the time you start watching it.
Did you explain to Jodie Andor is a Star Wars series just so she's aware?
We tried it. I actually recommended it, and Tim attempted 2 or 3 episodes of it. He's like, I can't do it. He was
so good.
Yeah, couldn't do it. So blame Tim on that one.
Tim.
All right, so I am watching a couple of different things right now. So with Katie needing a lot of rest and stuff, we have been spending a lot of time binging shows. So one of them we love has just come back for its 5th or 5th season. Yeah, 6th. Handmaid's Tale. And it's funny, Jodie and I will text back and forth during it and try to make sure we don't spoil the next episode. So I always have to be like, where are you at in the show? But yeah, Handmaid's Tale is amazing. It's so intense though that sometimes like I need a half hour to decompress and before we watch the next one. So I gotta walk around the house or like do something just to get rid of some of that energy. And then we also watch Yellowstone, which Lonnie, that's like kind of the situation you were talking about where we got hooked on this show after all the episodes has been released. So it wasn't, we could just keep going. And now we're at the point where they come out once a week. And it's a real bummer because, we want to know what happens, but so it's a tough decision.
Who's your favorite character and why is it Teeter?
They showed like a commercial clip of her talking to Jimmy's actor, like at the actual actors. She looks just like a normal person.
Do you know who she is?
No.
She's Michael Landon's daughter.
From
Really?
Highway to Heaven?
Yeah. Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, that too. Michael Landon.
Good night, John Boy.
That's not Little House on the Prairie.
That's the Waltons, isn't it?
So John,
Self-cancellation.
John, you've been watching both Handmaid's Tale and Yellowstone, and it's something that you've been enjoying during your time with Katie to catch up on some shows, huh?
Yeah. And those two, like, it's not usually our style, but we've started getting into it. So usually I like more like lighthearted comedies because I get too freaked out by anything intense. So yeah, it's almost like, I don't know. It's such
so my
show.
wife watches it. I watched like the first end of the second season probably, and I just ended up watching something else, and she keeps telling me, "I need to go back and catch up," and I will at some point, I'm sure, but I haven't.
I really enjoy it, but yeah. So that one, which also just came out, we have to watch it week by week, which is we're finished, right?
Handmaid's Tale is finished right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it like the show is finished completely or no?
No, there's 5 or 6 seasons, and hopefully they're coming out with the next because they can't leave us the way they left us. That would be cool.
So yeah, but it's on Hulu, and it does the same thing though, where it releases it weekly, and so it always ends on a huge cliffhanger, of course. So yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of what we're watching now. All right, but while we're watching TV in our room at home, one of the things we like to do is bring some Disney magic into the house. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight's episode, is how the Ducks bring the Disney magic into their home. Because obviously we can't be at the park 365 days a year. I mean, I'd like to, but my bank would probably shut me down after about 4 or 5 days. So because Disney likes to get their money, right? But yeah, so what's one of the things, Jeff, that you do at home to try to bring some magic in?
I think the biggest thing that we started doing this year is the show. This is kind of my biggest tie to Disney whenever I'm not there, is getting together with everybody at least once a week, just chilling, talking about random Disney topics, interacting with people in our Facebook group, all of this stuff. So the show has been probably my biggest draw in the last year to bring the Disney magic.
You know what's weird? When we first started this, I thought it was going to make me want to go to Disney even more than we already did. And it's actually had the opposite effect. I think because I get all that pent up, like, big Disney energy, and it's all pent up inside me, and I want to get it out. And this is how I get it out rather than traveling down there.
Well, thanks, John. Now we just lost our Disney sponsorship. They're never going to have us come and be an influencer because you're like, now I don't even want to go.
Right. But we're getting other people to go. There's 5 of us on here. We're probably going to influence 2,000 people into taking a trip, which Bob, I'd like the check made out to Jonathan. That's my legal name. So when you send our royalty check for that, Mr. Chapek, please take care of that for me. But yeah, no, I mean, it really has, I think, taken some of that urge to get down there away, because I get that out here with you guys, right? Like talking about it and everything else. So it kind of fills that void for me a little bit. So I think that's a great one, Jeff. Jodie, what do you guys do to bring some of the magic home?
So I love to cook. And one of our favorite things to do is to bring Disney into the kitchen. So little things like, do you guys know what toad in the hole is? Do you ever make that for your kids for breakfast? So it's a toast, and then you crack an egg in the toast, and you fry the egg in the center of the toast. So but I have Mickey shaped cookie cutters. So I like to, if I'm making the kids toad in the hole, I make them the Mickey shape, just silly stuff like that. Just anything to, bring a little Disney magic. During the pandemic, we cooked, I think, every recipe out of every Disney cookbook known to mankind. It was my daughter's way to stay connected. So we would look up recipes we made the cheese bread from Brazil during Food and Wine Festival. I mean, we made all sorts of stuff. So, but yeah, we like to bring Disney into the kitchen and try to make some recipes and just make things Mickey shaped and kind of make it fun that way.
That's awesome.
We've done that too. We've done the beer cheese soup from
La
Cellier. We've done like the skirt steak with chimichurri sauce. We've done some of the drinks. Actually, my French toast recipe that I use comes from the Chef Mickey's French toast from long ago. So we do that quite a bit too.
Yeah.
I do that as well. But the food I bring home or make at home from Disney and copy their recipe is pineapple, but then it's mostly liquid inside, and it's called the lapu lapu, and it is absolutely delicious. So that I try to make at home, and oddly enough, my daughter likes pineapple a lot, so we buy pineapples fairly regularly, the big ones. So I'll just core that, and I'll actually drink it out of the pineapple like a lapu lapu. And it's amazing. I mean, I look ridiculous walking around my house, holding a giant pineapple,
And
drinking it.
Who's going to see you?
Yeah.
So Lonnie, how about you? How do you keep Disney magic alive at your house in between vacationing to various Disney trips?
I like to incorporate the sounds of Disney into my day. Like if I'm doing it in my office, I'll have Sorcerer Radio playing. They're not a sponsor, but reach out to us, guys. Let's touch base. But yeah, so I like to incorporate Sorcerer's Radio. They have sounds of the park in there. They also have some of the music from some of the resorts. So I just like to listen to it in the background. It's kind of like just remind me of the parks.
Yeah, I do that a lot too. Although Tim and I share an office and we sit back to back, so when he's here and I'm here, I'm not allowed to do it as much.
Tim,
I know, but I do love to listen to Disney music throughout the day.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too that was on my list as well is Sorcerer Radio, or even just going to YouTube and looking up the parks loops. Or park loops, but I love those because you get kind of a variety of music, and it's just so unique by park and by area that you can listen to it over and over again and rotating through them, and it doesn't get boring because there's just so many. But like if I'm in a bad mood or I've had a stressful day at work, I'll put on the Soarin' loop in the background. And then if I just want to like chill and concentrate, I'll listen to or like the other areas of Epcot, which I love as well. So it's so fun. And then you got the Fantasyland loops, and
yeah.
I mean, which ones do you guys like the most? Are there certain parks or areas of parks that you like to listen to the most?
It's funny you mention that because while you're talking, one of the things on YouTube I love to listen to, if I'm going to do music, is the Disney Springs music. There's several channels, but there's one that you'll see the boathouse on it, right? And if you look at that one, it is phenomenal. So that's one. It's a perfect mix. You'll think that you're at Disney Springs.
If I'm doing Sorcerer Radio, it's always on the rope drop for me. I like to listen to the ride walkthroughs and things like that. But if I'm listening to just background loops, I will find the old Epcot Future World background loops. I like those are my favorite ones.
I like those a lot too. Yeah, they're really cool.
I just listen to the soundtrack of Bed Knobs and Broomsticks just over and over and over again. That's what I love.
Yeah,
it just puts me in the right mood,
It puts you in the Bed Knobs and what? It puts you in the mood for what?
I don't know if I want to know the answer.
Just a magical frame of mind,
Oh, I mean, you're talking about listening to the bed music, and I'm like, what you talking about, dude?
See, why I don't understand why it is a wholesome movie from like the 60s with the murder, what's
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, Angela Lansbury. I mean, I don't even know where you're going with this. Golly.
I don't want to know either. I don't want to know where Lonnie's going with it, and I don't want to know what Gene's mood is when he gets in the Bed Knobs and
that, and the soundtrack for all the Herbie the Love Bugs.
That's really
wait, is that Herbie's brother?
Harvey.
I said Herbie. I said Herbie.
You said Harvey.
You said Harvey.
You said Harvey.
Say Harvey. I
Jodie,
said Herbie.
Jodie, what did he say?
Oh, do not make me be the judge and jury. I'm not doing it. No.
We'll have to go to the tape later when Jeff's editing.
You know, a commercial when he said you got to throw the flag for the commercial.
Please ask me next how we keep the magic of Disney.
All right, Gene. What's one of the ways you keep the Disney magic?
Well, I mean, I won't just tell you one. I'll tell you multiple. I listed them because if there's nothing else that I want to do, it's keep the magic of Disney in my house. And this is the holidays, and so I mean, it starts with decorating the tree. I mean, we've got our tree decorated, and it's decorated. I mean, really, the whole house is decorated really in a Disney theme. I mean, down to the little lights on the tree are Mickey shaped and Donald Duck shaped, and the tree is actually on a like a turntable sort of thing. I don't know what you can call it. I forget what you call it. It plugs in and the tree turns and it plays, just Disney holiday music all the time. And that's piped actually out into the yard. And so we've got I made some of the cutouts, with the lights shining on it and the music that people passing by to see the lights and the cutouts, they can hear all the music. I mean, that's just a couple of things. Try to serve my family, Disney waffles. I got one of those Disney waffle makers, and just, keep everybody just in the spirit, in the mood, keep the magic alive,
I actually like the Mickey waffles at home too.
I'm sorry, I couldn't I had to mute him. When he said he had to carve outside. Dude, hold on. Dude, seriously. Dude, that was the best. Dude, that was the absolute best. You're a legend now. You're a legend.
So I think Gene went online and looked for Disney magic at my house and pulled other families' pictures up. That's what he's using today for the show.
He's just reading the script to keep Disney magic alive.
Dude, that was awesome, man. I'm sorry. Oh, my stomach hurt. Oh man.
When y'all were talking about the Disney music, I was like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say?
Man, seriously, my stomach hurts. So, stop for a second. I gotta get something to drink.
So it's just a couple little things, but that's how we like to keep the magic alive in our house.
Okay. Well, one of the things we do that nobody's mentioned yet is burn Disney scented candles or like diffuse essential oils, because I love the smells of Disney. I think I went into way too much detail on this probably on a previous show, but just smells of certain hotels, that type of thing. Like earlier tonight I was burning a Wilderness Lodge one because I wanted, it's snowing out here. Figure that's a great scent for this time of year.
What's your favorite smell of any of the resorts?
Oh, pop. Definitely pop.
Pop, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's a tie between pop and All-Star Music, but both really do it for me.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat the smell of kids and
mildew and despair,
and from the lose at All-Star.
Yeah, that's a good smell. Yeah,
I don't even think they have a candle for it. It's such a unique smell. It's probably an essential oil.
It's a stinky locker room mixed with clove. I believe.
Gotta have clove.
Patchouli.
Yeah. But yeah, so I like Disney candles. I think having my office smell like candles during the day it helps me get through, the work I do every day. So that's always fun. But another thing too, like while I'm working, I love to listen to Disney music. We were talking earlier about Parks Loops, because when I'm working, I can't listen to anything with words. So what I'll do is, if I'm not listening to a park loop or something, I'll put on just Disney piano music, and that is good enough to kind of keep me calm. And but also, I don't start busting out singing to Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious like I would normally listening to the actual version. So yeah, that's one of the things I do, is the candles and the music. Yeah. Lonnie, what else are we bringing into the house here?
One of the things I like to do is basically train for my next Run Disney event. I mean, if you get out there and you can, hey, I'm training for an event. If I'm on the treadmill, there are actually some simulated courses where somebody just actually ran the race, and it's like you're running it. So you get to see the park as well, just like if you're running through it. So that's one of the ways I kind of keep the excitement going, not just for Disney, but for Run Disney.
So Lonnie, as happens, I'm very familiar with this, but I know there are probably listeners that are not. So give us a little bit more detail about like what that, how do you access that? What is that? Tell me a little bit more about that. Not me, but our listeners, obviously.
Oh yeah, good question, Gene. It's actually on YouTube. There's a channel actually that actually goes for the different races, and you can just say, you want to run through Magic Kingdom, type that in, and you'll actually be running through Magic Kingdom, down Main Street, out, and it kind of just mirrors the route that you'll take for the various races.
That is a great way, Lonnie, to stay kind of in the spirit of Disney and stay healthy, keep training for your race. So yeah, those are super fun.
It's a merging of technology and the magic of Disney. That's amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't say it any better than that, no. Gene. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, what else are you doing at home?
You talked about listening to music, and we kind of discussed those, but I listen to a lot of other Disney podcasts as well. Obviously, ours is the first one I listen to each week, but other ones come out weekly as well, or a couple times a week, and just interacting with some of those through their Facebook groups and their online systems, and just learning things and keep in touch with the news stories and things like that.
Yeah, kind of the same with me. When I'm going out for runs or if I have to drive somewhere by myself without the family in the car, I love listening to Disney podcasts for a lot of things. You know, there's certain ones are good for news, certain ones are good just for fun. Some of them are just overall amazing, like ours. But yeah, there's a lot of them out there though that are really good. So you can find something kind of whatever direction you want to go with it, which is really fun. So yeah, cool. All right, Jodie. What else are you doing at home beyond the food?
I don't tend to wear a lot of Disney merch outside of the house. So, yeah, like I've got the 5K shirt on right now. And, but I don't tend to just go out wearing that stuff. But I do like to start my day with a good cup of coffee. And I do have a soft spot for Disney mugs. So I've got quite a few Disney mugs, and I do like to kind of rotate those through, and makes me think about the various trips that we've had and some of the fun that we've had, picking them out, or maybe one of the kids got one of them for a gift for one of us. Like Tim has a fancy coffee machine, and so his coffee's never in a real mug. It's always in something fancy. But they got Tim an Incredible Dad from The Incredibles, which is our family's like favorite movie to watch together. So sometimes I'll even use that one just because I think it's funny to carry his Incredible Dad mug around. So yeah, we have a lot of fun Disney mugs that kind of make me smile and think about past trips, and they're just Disney-esque.
You know, that's where they really get you too with those, because they make really awesome ones, and you know it's not going to be there the next time you come back. So of course you have to buy it, and then the next trip there's another awesome one. So yeah, but we've been on a kick with Disney mugs lately of getting those Starbucks "You Were Here" mugs, and those ones are cool because every time we go back, they're unique for each park, and they're different every time. So that's one of the things. It's a actually cheap souvenir you can get. One of the few things at Disney that's
$9 million.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's a really good one, is the Disney mugs. Nice. Yeah, I have a lot that I love to use too. And the thing is, with all of our kids and everything, we have a whole cupboard full of them. And of course they never want to throw them away, right? So we have them forever.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. But you mentioned you won't wear the Disney clothes outside of the house. I'm kind of on the other,
periodically, but not very often.
I'm on the other end of that spectrum, where I have one of the things I love is Disney golf shirts, and I'll wear them to work. So like, initially everybody makes fun of you for it, but then the acceptance comes, and and once you get past that hump, initially, then you're all good. But I mean, I have Run Disney golf shirts and DVC ones and just plain Disney. So that kind of helps keep me in the spirit, because I wear them pretty much all the time.
Okay, let me put an asterisk next to that. I do, and I realize that you are a gentleman on this call, but I do carry Dooney and Burke Disney purses. But they're like my Haunted Mansion one, no one would know what it was unless you were a crazy Disney person and realized that is the wallpaper of the Haunted Mansion. Like, you would really have to know.
Yes.
Like, everybody else just thinks it's a really cool design. So I do have some subtle Disney purses, handbags that I enjoy that I do carry on a regular basis, but they're not like Mickey Mouse isn't thrown up all over it. They're kind of like I said,
If you know, you know.
Yeah, the wallpaper of the Haunted Mansion or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff's cool, because it's like a nice, like you said, it's a nice subtle nod, but you're not going all out there looking like a weird 41-year-old man who always wears Mickey Santa shirts from.
No, but I think the men's polo shirts are actually really nice. I do really like those. I think those are classy, and I can see why you would wear those. I mean, they're not obnoxious like some of the. I'm not into like this. What are those things everybody likes right now? Spirit jerseys. Yeah. Like, my daughter wears them. That's great, but she's 15. So.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's the thing is like, for adults, there's not a lot sometimes, like clothing wise, because a lot of the shirts and stuff they sell at Disney, first they're $30 or $40 for a t-shirt, and then the design can be a little bit
over the top.
Yeah. for my tastes. Like that's what I like about the golf shirts. They got a little Mickey on there, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want to buy a tie-dye Figment shirt, but Katie used her veto power for that. So there was an awesome purple tie-dyed Figment shirt that I saw it at Epcot in the gift shop there, and yeah, she was like, "There is no way you're buying that." So, and she doesn't use the clothing veto card too often, so I was like, "Yeah, okay, I probably shouldn't." Oh boy, oh boy. All right, so Gene, beyond the amazing cutouts and everything that you had, and piping the Disney music through the house, what else are you doing down there in Louisiana?
Lonnie wants to know.
Well, so there is the, I shared with you guys earlier that my family watched Disenchanted the other night. And so we watch I won't say we watch, Disney movies every night of the week, but we watch, Disney TV shows and Disney movies. We consume quite a bit of that content. And I run personally, I run and it keeps my mind looking forward to the next trip where I'm running an event. And then, weekly, I'm doing this with you guys, and then we talk all during the week. And so, for me, all jokes aside, that's what keeps the magic alive with it for me.
Yeah, and that really is such a good one too, to have like a group of people to talk to about it, because when I try to talk Disney with friends or other people at work, things like that, they're usually like, "Oh yeah, did you go to Disneyland last year?" Like, no, I didn't go to California. And then I'll say I went to Disney World, and they're like, "Oh, the happiest place on the earth," and I'm like, "No, it's the most magical." So yeah. So it's nice to have a group of people to share something you love together with. So that's always a good thing.
And then my daughter really wants to go, and I said, "Well, I'm going in January. I can just like Facebook Live, I can just FaceTime you." And she's like, "Yeah, thanks, Dad. Thanks."
That is nice of you though, because that's a lot of work to hold up the phone.
It is.
Your arms are gonna get tired. Yeah.
If she wanted to run, I'd make a way for her, but she didn't have time for all that.
Yeah. Well, maybe next year, maybe for Sweet 16, you can take her to the race. Just giving ideas.
Not if she's not going to run.
No, you got to make her run.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it.
That's the only way to do it.
I'm plotting the same thing with my oldest daughter, is to take her down there on a just daddy-daughter trip, and she's just going to have to run the half or the full or something with me.
No free rides. You got to run.
Nope. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. You got to earn it.
You have to earn it. All right. So something else that nobody's mentioned yet that we do at home, not a lot because, again, with the wife and using the veto card, but some Disney decor at home. There's a couple little things we have that, you can see this is my office where I work, and I've got the Happily Ever After poster and a Guardians of the Galaxy poster and a couple other things that kind of just give me a little boost. If I look over and see Happily Ever After, it gives me some excitement. So I do that here, and then I love the sign. It's at Disneyland and Disney World, where it says, "Here you leave today and enter a world of yesterday, tomorrow, and something else." But I love that sign, and I have it hung up over my stairs when you come down into my basement. So just little things like that around the house with like home decor and that type of thing.
We have subtle nods throughout the whole house. We got family pictures at Disney World and things like that. We have some things that are just glaringly Disney, but we have a lot of things that if you didn't know that it was Disney based, it just looks like another poster or another portrait or something hanging somewhere. So we do have quite a bit of that throughout the house as well.
Yeah, I think for home decor, that's the best way to go, because I'm kind of like Jodie is with the clothes, where I'm not I don't want it to be in your face Disney in my house everywhere, but I do like those little things that maybe I might even be the only person that notices them, but that's all I need, is just to give me that little boost. All right. Do any of you guys have any other like home decor type stuff you do, or yard games or anything like that related to Disney?
Our Christmas tree is usually fully Disneyed. Back in the early 2016 or 27, 28, somewhere there, they had the storybook ornament sets. So you can get like Mickey through the years, and it was all like 5 or 6 different Mickey ornaments, or they had princess ones. There's like 5 or 6, and they don't really do that as much anymore, but we have a lot of those. that we put a lot of those out. But our tree is mostly Disney ornaments.
Well, new for us this year, which I can't tell you about yet because it's not up because it's still Thanksgiving time. We've recently finished our lower level, and so I bought my first artificial Christmas tree, and we're going to put a second tree down there. We always have a live tree upstairs, but we're going to do an artificial tree in the lower level, and that's going to be Disney themed because we realize that we have so many Disney ornaments that we've collected over the years from trips and various things, from cruises or whatever, that we're going to make that a Disney tree. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. Maybe only one portion of it will be decorated. I don't know if we'll have enough ornaments for it all, but that's the plan. So
yeah,
that's really cool.
It should look really good after Thanksgiving when it should go up.
Yes,
right.
For Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look good, but not for as long. So your level of joy received is much lower the way you guys do it, because you're only spreading it over that 30 days or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sad.
So one of the things, John, that I do, and I'm listening to you guys, and I made a list, and a lot of the things you guys said I have on my list as well. But one of the ways I keep the magic going is just planning my next Disney trip.
That was mine.
Yes.
Yeah. So look, just getting on there, looking online. Of course, DVC members, you want to do the 11-month booking window. So we always planning ahead for that. And then at the same time, I'm planning, hey, where can I jump for the 7-month if I want to do this or that? What plans, what parks we want to make to go on, we want to go to on particular days. So that allows me an opportunity to really bring the magic home.
Yeah, that's a great one, Lonnie. Because then what we find we do too is like, look at all the YouTube videos more and see, okay, what new rides are there? Look at those. All right, we got to go on this and this, and just thinking about the resorts and everything else. So that is such a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Disney has become a place where you actually have to plan, right? I mean, so, we planned it out and we had a planning episode here, planning for marathon weekend. But yeah, it's to get the most enjoyment out of it. Sometimes, I'll go with my wife and we're kind of like laid back and we just kind of do Disney different when it's just us two. But still, even that requires some level of planning just to make sure you have access to the park you want to go to and some of the things you want to do, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. So
when
Jodie, you said that was.
Trip,
oh, go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
When you're not planning your trip, other people help you plan their trip too. So you're always getting your questions and everything too. So that's a good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a really good one because that comes out of kind of nowhere sometimes. I'll get a call at work and somebody will be like, "Hey, John, you're the Disney expert, right?" Yeah. Hi. Nice to meet you. I'll help you.
He's like, John, I see you always wearing these Disney shirts. And at first, in the joke, we made fun of you in the break room, but now I need your help.
Exactly. That's what it is. And then they respect you.
And then they respect.
We used to make fun of you, John, for wearing the Michigan shirts, but now it's the Disney shirts.
Oh, nobody's gonna be making fun of me for these Michigan shirts next week, right, Jodie?
I can't wait. I can't wait till Saturday after this game. I just want to be on the feed as the trash talk starts.
I know.
Let the healing begin.
Oh God, it's gonna be a beautiful day to be a Wolverine. All right, so Jodie, you'd mentioned that planning a trip is one of yours too. Anything else to add over what Lonnie had mentioned?
Well, I think when Jeff was talking about listening to other podcasts and kind of hearing, oftentimes when I'm running and I'll hear a Disney podcast and they mention something that I'm going to come back to because I'm afraid I'm going to forget it. I'll take a screenshot of that spot on the episode. So if it's like at the 19-minute mark or whatever, so I can go back and rewind it and remember what I'm going to, because if I'm out there running 15 miles, I'm going to forget which episode, what point of the episode, and I don't want to listen to the whole thing all over again. So that's what I do is I'll take a quick screenshot of like, oh, I want to remember that because they mentioned a new restaurant or they mentioned a tip for fireworks or they mentioned, the room they stayed in. I don't know, whatever it may be. So I love listening to trip reports and hearing people's experiences and learning from those to make my trips different. And Lonnie and I are kind of like the big cruise line fans of the group here. And I would say that's also something like I'll listen to some DCL podcast and listen to some of their idea where they've been and what they've done. And sometimes unfortunately what happens is my list of things that I want to do gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And my vacation time and budget does not. So that's always the formula that you're playing with. But I love that.
Yeah. That is really good. That's one of the great things I think about those trip reports. Like you said, hear what other people do, because some of that stuff I've never even heard of before. Like, we know now that there's horse-drawn carriage rides, at Port Orleans and stuff like that. That
Sangria University,
yeah,
those things.
So yeah, that's really cool. Another thing I do that we kind of talked about a little bit earlier was Disney TV shows and movies. We watch a lot of Disney movies at our house because we have kids of such a wide range of ages. But with Disney TV shows, all those new shows on Disney Plus are so fun to me. So we do a lot of that as well. I mean, we probably watch Bluey. I don't know. I'd say 27 episodes a day on average of Bluey are in this house, because like our baby loves it all the way up through me loving it. So just stuff like that. And then the other thing,
the best shows that's coming up soon to watch is The Muppets Christmas Carol. I mean, that is a good one. Classic. I mean, it's about time to watch that.
That's my favorite. I think Christmas Carol version.
It's a good one.
It's really good. Oh, I'm so excited for the Christmas movies to start coming out. Even though you
talk about Disney, keeping the magic alive at home. So during the holidays, they'll release different things. They'll do their specials on various TV shows. And I do look forward to those. And I remember during the pandemic, they were doing a lot of those, what were they, Disney sing-alongs or whatever.
Yeah.
Even the silly stuff, like I don't normally watch Dancing with the Stars ever, but when they do the Disney show, the song version, I'll tune into that and watch them dance, because I just find it kind of little things, I'll kind of go out of my way to watch or, participate in.
Well, something you mentioned there triggered this in my mind too, is Disney has a lot of Peloton has a lot of Disney themed classes where you're in, a half-hour cycling class or a half-hour 45-minute run, and the instructor has Disney songs playing in the background. So it's fun because then they give a little bit of history on the song sometimes and that type of thing, or experiences they've had at Disney. So that kind of stuff. That always makes me really excited too to take those classes. And then, like the holiday special events, but the parades and stuff, I don't like watching them in the park, but I love the Thanksgiving parades or the Christmas parade that they record around Thanksgiving. Just stuff like that. Or they'll have singers come on stage and do Disney songs. So I like those kind of live events that they put on.
Yeah. But the Ducks do not recommend the Star Wars Christmas special.
It's not, I haven't seen it yet.
The Lego one's funny, but you're talking about the original one from
the original one. From 1978. We do not recommend that one. Lego one, yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of bringing Disney magic in, and Bob Iger, his book is awesome. I really enjoyed hearing how Disney acquired Marvel and Star Wars, and he kind of went into some of those stories. So we just got breaking news while we were in the show that we sorry.
You wanted him gone? He's gone.
No, sorry, something else. Okay. So we were talking about watching TV shows, and then I mentioned something about Bob Iger's book, and bam, we got hit with some breaking news that apparently Chapek is out and Bob Iger is coming back. So that's insane.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, so that's probably one of the other things we all do is follow Disney financials and the company leadership changes a little too closely. But that might actually ruin some of the magic doing that. But yeah. And does anybody else have anything else that we haven't talked about that you do either in your house or when you're not at Disney?
Well, one of the things I kind of, and I don't do it for new rides, but I like to watch point of view videos to simulate riding my favorite attractions. They have those on YouTube as well. YouTube just has just so much Disney content, right? You can get down that rabbit hole and you're in there for hours. But there are certain channels I do follow, like you said, John, earlier, some for the news. you know, it's one of those things as well, though. You got to just watch what you listen to, because some of the things can be extremely negative as well. So I like to keep, just like our podcast, more on the positive side, because we're general fans of Disney right here. So I like to watch people, and I'm a realist as well, but I tend to gravitate more to videos and to podcasts and to shows that are more positive, because look, there's enough negativity in this world, right? Disney's my happy place.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Tom.
No, go ahead.
My kids love watching the ride breakdown videos. They think those are super cool. Like when the ride breaks down and how do you get removed from the ride. They think those are fantastic. And then they also love videos that give you like the hidden secrets and hidden Mickeys and stuff in the rides or the shows or whatever. They love those. And they're like, if you look at this angle when the sun is at 2:00 and you're standing in this certain place, you're going to see blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it. But they love all that. So, but you know, it brings them joy. So whatever.
Yeah. That's awesome.
A stripper. So, let them have it.
It's fun that you get to see some of that stuff, though, that you just don't see when you're walking around the park.
Yeah. And it's all there. It's just nice that someone takes the time to figure it out, because I wouldn't know, if you look on the ground right here, that's this, that, and whatever. And I don't know.
Yeah. And that's what I liked about that Imagineering show on Disney Plus. That was cool, too, because you saw some of like how the rides were developed and, some of the behind the scenes stuff. So that was really neat to kind of see that side of it, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think that's one of those things, you go into the park and then you can think more about it. And who knows, maybe that'll, get some kid to grow up and be an engineer that works at Disney and designs the next Guardians ride or whatever. So that stuff's really cool. The other thing on YouTube that I love to do is watch fireworks videos. So I'll watch, Happily Ever After and Fantasmic and anything else really, the old ones, Wishes and stuff like that. So those are all really cool. I don't watch Enchantment a whole lot on there. So, that's probably a pretty normal opinion. So I think that's why we've got Happily Ever After coming back. But yeah, so that's, I think then that's a lot of the ways that the Ducks here tonight, that we bring Disney magic into our home. Because like we mentioned at the beginning, obviously you can't be there every day of the year, even multi times a year. It's tough for people to go more than once or twice a year. So that's some great ways to get out there, really feel that Disney magic, bring some joy into your life, because God knows we all need it right now with everything going on in the world. So yeah, if you guys have any other ideas that we might not have talked about, come over to our Facebook group, Disney with the Ducks, and just leave some of the ideas there. And
Gene will take lots of notes and implement them all within the next show. So please give Gene a lot of ideas, because he's desperately searching them out.
Yeah, and then we'll do live reviews at Gene's house. So
I'm waiting for Gene to actually have a fireworks show in his front yard to go along with him piping out music to the neighborhood. Yeah. I mean, literally, that will be legendary.
You have to have stuff to aspire to. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. You do.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
So I feel awful for Jeff, who's probably going to be editing this in the next day or so. This episode has been a bit rough, but the outtakes should be hilarious. And before that, though, we'll give you another great way to quack up, and that is our Quacking Up with the Ducks segment. So, Gene, what do you got for us? You got can you make me laugh tonight?
I don't really have a joke. I did want to share something with you, though. Did y'all know that Lonnie has the heart of a lion? Did y'all know that? Yeah, he's also got a fan at the zoo, but that's a different story.
Oh boy, PETA is gonna come after us. All right, Jodie, can you quack up Jeff?
I will try. So the World Cup starts. It started today, and it's our family's most exciting time of the year. So I've got a soccer one for you. So why did the soccer ball quit the team?
Why?
No.
It was tired of being kicked around.
Nice.
That's a good one. All right, let's see, Jeff.
So how do you get a squirrel to like you? You act like a nut.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Lonnie, do you have a funny joke for us?
It's not funny, but
no.
Do you guys know how a penguin builds his house?
No, how?
It glues it together.
Oh.
I did know that.
Get igloo.
Well, Jeff, did you know that one?
I did know that one.
He glues it together. I actually am stealing one from my daughter who told me this in the car today. What do you call a pig that does karate? Pork chop.
Chop pork.
Pork chop.
Nice.
That's a good one. Which daughter?
Kara.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good job, Kara.
I've got a few more too. So she sent me quite a few today. We were talking about them in the car, and I was amazed that she came up with them. Well, I think she stole them from somewhere, but either way, that she would even share them with me was a big step.
She had the resources
Right.
to be able to provide them to you, to share them with you. She was looking out for you, John.
Yeah, she was.
Isn't thievery the most sincere form of flattery? I think that's what the
Thievery?
Thievery, yeah.
Thinks of Lonnie, but I don't know.
I think it is, yeah. All right. Well, everybody.
I think it's imitation, not thievery.
Imitation?
It's the highest form of flattery, not thievery.
Oh,
Thievery
okay.
gets you,
5 to 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends what you're thieving, I guess. Is thieving a word?
I mean, we just made one.
It is now.
Nice.
It is now.
So yeah, depending on what you're
I
thieving.
use it sometimes when I conversate.
I think I'm quitting. I'm done.
Like for the night or completely?
Just
Both.
in general. I don't think this is editable.
All right, we need to go back and record this. Not tonight though, but it is bad. It is bad. I'm
It
sorry,
probably was
man.
a rough one.
It's a rough one for you.
Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
Chicka, 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 chicka.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like 80s bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, nobody needs to hear me sing Michael Jackson songs. So with that, I just want to say Kwaharini.
Okay.
Mama say, mama say,
before we,
mama say.
okay, yeah. And just in
Oh.
case, before we choir Rini, please, guys, if you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to come follow us on the socials. We're on Facebook at Disney with the Ducks. We're on Instagram at Disney with the Ducks. We'll love to have you chime in with the conversation. Let us know, how do you keep the magic alive at the parks, right? At your home, right? And hey, thanks for joining us tonight.
Kwaharini.
Word.
Disney at home printed out my notes.
I mean,
I'm
I shouldn't be on this show.
It'll
So
be
wait,
like
if you look
usual.
stupid, we're gonna edit it? We're not even gonna have
Right.
a show. That's a good one.
You don't sound convinced. You can.
No,
come up with
I
something.
am.
You're not,
I was
hurt,
just
you're not gonna
writing
hurt
it.
my feelings, really.
No, I do think that's good. I mean, I always like
John. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, John.
that was yeah, that was rough. It was
Oh, I think
super
it's
fun.
amazing. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, it was super fun. But wow, Gene,
Is that Gene?
what are you doing?
Man, my cord is banging into this, and I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
I should have
Like,
muted myself.
Jeff, good luck. Good luck with this one. You have to edit this one, buddy.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I debated like, should I or should I? Should I or should I?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
should.
fair on that one. That was my fault.
Oh boy.
How are you gonna get kicked off, man, when you piping Disney music into the neighborhood with your
Yeah.
cutouts?
This is true. This
Yeah.
is true.
Lights on the cutouts and everything.
So,
And the tree
Um,
spinning around on a turntable.